Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm, most people know as just the amusement park, but it actually started out as a farm. It started in 1920 when Walter and Cordelia Knott moved to Buena Park to start a farm on 20 acres of land that they had rented there. The first winter there was very cold, and they had a really hard time making money since most of their crop was ruined by frost. But Walter managed to sell directly to grocers and make some profit this way. Then in 1927, Walter bought 10 acres of land for the farm. And the next year, the Depression hit and land prices dropped, and he was able to get another 10 acres of land for this lower price. Spent the last of their money building an adobe structure that was the farm's first permanent building. It was finished that year and was 80 feet long. In 1932, a family friend, Rudolph Boysen, began experimenting with a new kind of berry, which was a cross between a raspberry, a blackberry, and a loganberry. However, these berries didn't grow well, and most of them died quickly. Walter took these berries and nursed them back to health, and he called the new kind of berry a boysenberry, after Rudolph Boysen. Today, all of the boysenberries in the world can be traced back to Knott's Berry Farm. Cordelia soon began making jellies and jams out of these berries, the boysenberries, which was soon followed by homemade pies, biscuits, and sandwiches. Then in 1934, she served 8 chicken dinners on their wedding china. This was the start of the world's largest chicken dinner restaurant. Today, this chicken dinner restaurant seats over 900 guests at a time and serves over 1.5 million people a year. By 1940, the restaurant was serving up to 4,000 meals on Sunday evenings. To give waiting customers something to do, Walter made Ghost Town. The first building was the Gold Trails Hotel, and soon he brought in other buildings from different ghost towns. In the 1960s, he put up the Calico Mine Ride and the Timber Mountain Log Ride, as well as Fiesta Village, which was their second themed area. This was the start of Knott's Berry Farm as we know it today. Knott's quickly grew into much more than a berry farm, and its popularity grew with it. Soon enough, they opened their third themed area, the Roaring Twenties, which was later rethemed in the Boardwalk, and featured the Corkscrew, which was the world's first looping roller coaster. Sadly, in 1974, Cordelia died. Walter died 7 years later, in 1981, 1 week before his 92nd birthday. Soon after Walter's death in 1983, Knott's opened Camp Snoopy, which was 6 acres and designed just for kids. Wild Water Wilderness was added in 1988 and was a 4-acre outdoor wilderness area that featured Bigfoot Rapids, a whitewater rafting ride. Soon after this came the Indian Trails and an exact replica of the Independence Hall, complete with a Liberty Bell as a free admission educational resource. In 1990, the Corkscrew was replaced with the Boomerang, which takes riders upside down 6 times in less than a minute. In the next 10 years, Knott's added a lot of new attractions, including the Mystery Lodge, the Jaguar, Windjammer, Supreme Scream, and the Ghost Rider, which was the longest and the fastest wooden roller coaster in the West. Then in 2002, the Windjammer was replaced with Accelerator, which goes from 0 to 82 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. Straight up 205 feet at 90 degrees, and immediately back down at another 90-degree angle. In 2011, Knott's added the Windseeker, which is a huge swing ride that takes riders up 300 feet in the air and basically swings them around in a big circle. It could seat 64 people at a time, and it was supposed to be really fun, but I've never been on it because it was closed in September, because it broke down and left 20 people hanging 300 feet in the air for about 3.5 hours. Another ride that was closed recently was Perilous Plunge, which was a water ride that had a really big, sudden, and steep drop. But but instead of just getting stuck, Perilous Plunge was coming off the tracks. So that resulted in the ride's permanent closing. Knott's currently has about 40 rides, my favorite of which is the Silver Bullet, because it has a really short line and it's a very long ride. Silver Bullet's a roller coaster where the track is above you and your feet dangle. It goes through a lot of twists, turns, and loops. I also really like the Accelerator, but usually the line is really long and the actual ride's only about 20 seconds. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something about Knott's Berry Farm.